Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I'm Big B. So we're out here in the shop. You guys don't really see this area too often. But I've been working on the paint for my Swifter XL, right? Spirit of the Navy. It's kind of cold out, so paint, dry process, prep, tape. It takes time. So this thing's going to be out here for a few weeks, you know. Got my homemade Sport Fisher back there, okay, completely scratch built. It's like ready to get put back on the water. And this was my next build. When we finished up this guy here, I was planning on joining the top side and bottom and throwing a couple of 2968s, 90 amp fly colors. I got the rudder, got the some drives in mind, pretty much everything, almost have everything for the build, right? We were going to do this. It's a H&M micro drifter that's been splashed and the steps taken out, right? But I got an email from Minu, one of my viewers, and he was asking if I would build a boat for him, right? Now, at first I said no. I was like, no, I don't really build boats for my viewers, just so, you know, if anything happens, I'm not liable, right? So we were talking and he kind of talked me into it, right? Kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity here for me anyway. So I'm going to build a boat for one of my viewers, and it's absolutely beautiful boat. It's a German made hull from MHZ. It's a 57-inch Bulgarian catamaran. I got to make it stand for it. Just got it. That's why it's sitting on the towels. I've been out here measuring, getting the parts list ready for Minu. You know, we're actually, it's going to be kind of like a saw build. You know, the hull, the MHZ 57 Bulgarian Cat, actually came with these drives. We found it in the United States. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's gorgeous, man. Garrett Brasher has this boat, right? He was planning on building it. Garrett actually has the fastest TFL Genesis in the world, right? Brasher Marine on YouTube. You guys go check him out. I'll include a link in the description if you're interested. So show him some love. You know, he decided to go a different route, a different hull. So he put this boat up for sale, and we found it on Marketplace of all places. So it's a big boat, right? It's the biggest boat I have ever built to date. I'm kind of nervous about it, and then again, I have the confidence. I know I can pull it off, and it's gonna be a beautifully built boat. Like, we're gonna spend some time on it. It's gonna be a full build series. We're actually gonna run the boat, tune it, kind of get it dialed in before I send it to its owner. Right? Let me get this hatch off. It fits on there pretty tight. So this boat, it's absolutely gorgeous. You see the MHZ logo here. Okay. Kind of making this video for the boat gang, you know, introducing you guys to the new build that we're going to do, and also for Mino, you know, the owner of this boat, because he has not seen it yet. Only pictures online. So it's rough. I mean, it just basically come out the mold, right? So it's going to need a paint job, right? There's some imperfections that we're going to have to work on. The seam's going to need to be sanded before paint, you know, a little bit of body work here and there. There's a couple little bad spots like here that we're going to have to fill. I found one, you know, the seam, that's typically normal. You know, they pull it out, they cut this little lip off right here. That's what they join it with. And then you have this little pencil seam, right? It's somewhat normal. I did find this. This is some air bubbles under this polymer here. So you see how it's moving there? So we're going to have to break that free, fill this, sand it, and all that stuff before paint. So my plan is to get some of the stuff installed, get all 99% of the holes drilled through the hull, prepped, get the hardware mounted, right? Get the motor mounts mounted, get the stuff and tube retainers, oilers, the through holes all in the boat, the exits, the water pickups that go in the bottom, the through hole water pickups, get all that in the boat, get everything drilled pretty much like 80% built out, right? And then we send the boat to paint. Put a nice paint job on it. When we get it back from paint, I don't really have to worry about dripping epoxy on it. You know, pretty much all the hard work's done, and we just fit it out with all of our parts. Oh, check out the bottom, man. Look at that. Ooh. There's a chip right here on the bottom, which can be filled. And there's a little cluster of chips right here. Garrett sent the boat really quick. Like, it was here 2 days later. No damage to the hull. Like, that stuff probably was already there. So shipping was quick, and he did a good job at packaging it, you know. So thank you for that. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, this is a 120 mile an hour boat, you know, 120 mile per hour hull, all rigged out, said and done. Got a couple mold marks here. That's normal, you know. So let's go over what I'm thinking for setup. Okay, well, not what I'm thinking, what we're thinking. Over 100 volts, right? Why not? Oh. All right, that's you know, over 100 volts with charge packs, right? 12S and 12S, okay? 24 total S's. The more S's, the faster your boat goes, right? We're going with SMC Racing Lipos, okay? And I have an email into MHZ. I'm waiting on a response. I was asking them if they have the custom fitted 56 series motor mounts for this 57 Bulgarian Cat. If they don't make it, I'm going to make some out of some 6mm thick carbon fiber, right? And it's going to be built into the sponson. I've done it on smaller boats. We're just going to upscale it for this one. It will actually reinforce the top side, reinforce the sponson, and mount the motor, right? Two 5670 TP power motors. I'm thinking either 720 kV or 850 kV for 12S operation. I think 720 will be a little safer. We can run larger props. Because this is actually his largest boat that he owns, my largest and biggest boat build, and I'm going to be running it. So kind of want to play it safe with KV, but I don't want the boat to be slow, and I don't really want to have to turn like a 60mm freaking prop. So I kind of want to go 720. Then again, I kind of wanted to go to 850. So I'm kind of teetering back and forth. Maybe any of my viewers, some of my Germans that have these boats or know guys that run this boat, share my video with them. Have them throw some input. I would love to hear from guys that have this boat on the water, that have pulled some major numbers, what they're running in their setup. So yeah, okay, 5670. 720, 850 with a pair of 300 amp ESCs, right? I'm up in the air. I want to go with the Hobby Wing, but I also hear the Hobby Wing, they're new, so you don't know a whole lot about them. The ZTW 300s, they've been around a long time, running that low KV. We shouldn't have any issues with either setup, right? Either setup. The advantage of the Hobby Wing will have a BEC built in. The ZTWs will have to run an external battery, right? Because it doesn't have BEC. So there's all types of things that you have to think about here, right? I'm thinking, I've already done the measurements on the inside of the sponson. I'm thinking those big TFL sliding, locking battery trays may be perfect for this boat. They're like, if I remember right, 435 millimeters, which is basically 17 inches. They should bring the batteries up to like right here. We can run two 6S batteries on that tray for 12S each side. I think that's going to look actually pretty mint. I also considered making my own tray, but I think the sliding locking tray may just be easier long term on this particular build. We have a couple different mounts coming for ESC mount from MHZ, like a couple different shapes or whatnot. So we're going to pick there. Going to be running a servo mount that is the AFG 75. And that will actually have an MHZ carbon fiber mount that actually gets mounted right here. Okay, it basically going to support the top side. So we'll have top side support here. The motor mounts will have top side support, and I'm going to fabricate a nice, very nice forward hull support for the tunnel up here, right? Of course, all that's going to be epoxied, and I think I'm going to actually go with a West system epoxy for this build. I mean, it's an expensive boat, and you just don't want to use cheap epoxy for something like this, right? So we actually have two different rudders coming. We got a TFL large and the MHZ recommended rudder. Don't really like the MHZ looks, right? I like the TFL looks. I think we both like the TFL look. Both of them are going to have the dummy hydraulic scale rudder appearance, right? Both of them are double shear, I believe, and they will kick up if we hit anything. Just want to see which one looks best on the transom, really, you know? Now this is what's got me worried here, right? So this is a custom. Well, actually, I was under the impression this was custom for this 57, and it actually works on the boat. You actually get choice of two bases. I mean, look at the quality of this. It's absolutely beautiful, right? Two different bases, two different mounting patterns, right? You got this extension bar here. It's a 3-piece barrel, 1, 2 with the base equals 3, right? They go together like butter. I'm not even kidding, man. Oh, did you hear that? I probably did in my big mouth. Just like butter. Ooh. Oh, that's a tight tolerance. So they get mounted on the transom, well, the back of the sponson. Okay, the outdrive barrel, it's extended, right? It's a long barrel. And the mount for the outdrive is right there. You guys see that? So this stinger set gets a block that gets mounted on the transom of the boat. It's a post, okay, and this is how you adjust the stinger. Make sure it's like perfectly in line with the ride surface, right? They don't pivot. Did you hear how tight a tolerance it was a while ago? They don't pivot. I mean, they're like basically going to be mounted straight with the ride surface, right? So I did notice this block, it's kind of tall. Kind of wide, so mounted flush to the bottom of the overhang, and it's got a little protrusion off the top side. You guys see that? So but I think they're going to look, these boats, they actually look pretty badass with the blocks on the back. Just not exactly. I think the blocks could be smaller. That's all I'm going to say. But super nice, man. Super freaking nice. Check that out. I got 4 MHZ style through-hole pickups coming. The large. I was going to go with TFL, but the MHZ actually looks like they're easier to cut out. And they're designed for these thicker hulls. The TFL, they have a real small flange, and it may actually, like, not flush mount on this thicker hull. So we're going to go with MHZ. Okay. I think I'm going to run them in line, one in front of the other instead of side by side. That's my thoughts. Okay. Yeah. So I'm actually going to reinforce. This is something we talked about as well. On these bigger boats, you got a big rudder, a long blade hanging off. So we're going to beef up this transom, the center section here, right, with some carbon fiber. I'm going to make a custom plate to mount the rudder, because that rudder is like 8 inches long, right? It's a big rudder. Okay. Everything's going to be mounted on pedestals in here, off the deck. I may even make a like for the ESCs especially. So we're just not like taping them and like zip tying them or strapping them down. We'll actually have a sheet of carbon fiber, like it's got a special design that goes in and actually goes over the ESCs so they don't pull off their mount, right? So I've been looking for some really cool pictures of people's like high end builds online, getting ideas. If you guys have like a bucket list catamaran, like picture of a bucket list catamaran build, hey, shoot it to my Facebook, you know, post it on my feed, or DM me, right? Ironclad RC on Facebook of setups that you really like, or even your boat that you have set up. I would love to get ideas, because I really want this thing to be like top of the notch. Just when you see it, you just start like drool starts coming out your mouth and like puckering up and everything. Like I want it to be a build like that, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of introduce you guys to the boat. I wanted to introduce the owner of the boat and kind of go over some things that I'm thinking. Golly, this thing's beautiful. He has a paint scheme in mind. I've got to find a painter in Jacksonville that's going to be up to the task, right? So yeah, I'm super excited, super duper excited about this thing, man. So sexy. So yeah, we'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel to watch the series.